Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So we're going to discuss a verse in the 7th canto, chapter 6, text 1. We felt this verse would be very appropriate for a lecture in the school. Who knows which verse it is? 761.
In the tender age of childhood. Acharya should practice. Pragya, one who is intelligent. Karma, occupational duty. Bhagavatam, all other engagements. The human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary, like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It's a very long purport, so.
The whole purpose of Vedic civilization and reading of Vedas is to attain the perfection, the perfect state of devotional service in the human form of life. According to Vedic system, therefore, one from most dangerous type of fear. Modern civilization, not referring to the wordings of Vedic literature, is so cruel to the members of human society that instead of teaching children to become brahmacharis, it teaches mothers to kill their children even in the womb, on the plea of curbing the increase of population. And if by chance a child is sick, he is educated only for sense gratification, gradually throughout the entire life into animal life. As already stated by Prahlad Maharaj, Bhagavad Dharma consists of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smarnam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Satyam, Atman, Vedam. In all, the schools, colleges and universities and at home, all children and youths should be taught to hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, they should be taught to hear instructions of Bhagavad Gita, to put them into practice in their lives, and thus to become strong in devotional service, free from fear of being degraded to animal life. Following Bhagavad Dharma has been made extremely easy in the age of Kali. Shastra says, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. One need to only chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Everyone engaged in the practice of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra will be completely cleansed from the core of his heart and will be saved from the cycle of birth and death.
Om Gyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurmritanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavestam Sapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadana. Everyone, devotees are constantly trickling in. Is there a Russian translation, Ruski Perivochi? Vishnu Siritam, Ruski Perivochik. Kama Ashar Pragya Dharma Bhagavatamya, Yadava Manasam Dharma. So that's a very famous verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm sure all of you have heard this sloka many times, am I right? And Prabhupada used to quote this sloka very often. The verse is being spoken by whom? Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj's identity is well known. He is one of the 12 Mahajans or spiritual authorities. So the 12 Mahajans under their custody, and when a child would be born, they would kill the child. Like father, like son. But Narada Muni appeared on the scene and said, "No, the child in the womb of this lady is going to be a great devotee of the Lord. You will not be able to harm him." And then the demigods held by Indra, they had faith in Prahlad, they had faith in Narada Muni's words, and they released Prahlad's mother, who was then given shelter in Narada Muni's ashram. So the business or the duty of a politician as our idol, am I right? Hero. So in spiritual life also, we have heroes, and our heroes are spiritual personalities. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates would regularly discuss the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj, etc. So Prahlad Maharaj over here is giving a very important instruction. And I picked up this verse for discussion today because we were going to speak at Bhaktivedanta school, and this verse is very appropriate for this environment. So what's Prahlad Maharaj saying? Prahlad Maharaj is saying that one who is intelligent, they will teach their children from a young age about computers. And there are special schools in India for, they call it toddler computer education. But they won't teach them spirituality. They'll teach them computers because they know they can't live without computers, and they're always thinking about economic livelihood. But one who's intelligent cultivates spiritual life from a young age. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying, start cultivating spiritual life from the age of 5. Don't waste this valuable human life. Prabhupada was once lecturing at an important university about the importance of spiritual life. And the Bhagavatam is reminding us about this important mission, cultivate spiritual life. In the 5th canto, we read the instructions of Lord Rishabdev. Lord Rishabdev was the incarnation of the Lord. Lord Rishabdev says, one should not become a father or mother till they can take their dependence back to Godhead. So, there is dual responsibility. Responsibility of the parents to teach spiritual education. Today's society is so degraded that if you tell them you're drinking poison, what's the response you get? Let me drink poison, it's okay. What can be done? The business of a saintly person is to use every opportunity to preach. Just like we see Prahlad Maharaj, he's preaching. Prahlad had to go through insurmountable challenges. He had to go through several challenges and difficult situations. His father could not tolerate. Why is my son attracted to my enemy. Prahlad's father considered the Lord to be his enemy. Education, no spiritual education, what's the value? 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 100 zeros equals to 0. So if we don't cultivate spiritual life, human life is a waste. So this is a school with a difference. And only those parents who recognize the need for spiritual life put their children over here. Those parents who put their children that we have in schools and colleges today doesn't cater to this important area of knowledge. Last year I was lecturing at a major university in America, and where they had over 2,000 departments. So I asked them, do you have any department that tells you anything about spirituality? And they said no. So that is the unfortunate reality. And because there's a lack of spiritual education, there's a vacuum in society. Society today is in such an uncomfortable position. For example, in the various schools you have, because there's no spirituality, children in schools today are, so strawberry candy, fancy name, isn't it? But there's a trick to it. Inside the strawberry candy, they have drugs. So the kids get introduced to the strawberry candy, but actually they're taking drugs. They know it, but they get so addicted. It's so common, the youth is getting addicted to telephones, games, and so on. And as a result, there's more unhappiness in society. One cannot be happy independent of spirituality. Nata vidam svatagate me Vishnu. As Prahlad Maharaj has said, people do not know how real happiness can be found. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying, this body is really achieved and it has some meaning, value, worth, only if we also cultivate spiritual life. If we don't cultivate spiritual life, it is very unfortunate. And Prahlad Maharaj further says, even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. So devotional service is so powerful that even if we do a little bit, even if we don't fully complete it, it comes to your benefit. So what Prahlad Maharaj is emphasizing is devotional service is vital, most important. That is the theme of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva had compiled the vast Vedic literature, and even after having compiled the vast literature, he was still feeling despondent, unhappy. He felt that there's something lacking in my effort. I gave him the Vedas, summarized it in the Mahabharata, given the Vedanta Sutra, but still he felt there's something lacking. Theme, the importance of spiritual life. Prabhupada in the introduction to the first canto says, since time immemorial, there have been volumes of books, but these books have failed to bring peace on earth because there's a spiritual vacuum. And that spiritual vacuum will be filled by the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the unfortunate situation in society. In the purport, probably unfortunate. If you look at the various courses that are being offered by different institutions, you'll see they all focus on one thing, sense gratification. I once asked a doctor, His son was getting ready for medical. So I asked him, what branch of science is your son going to, medicine is your son going to specialize in? He said, eye doctor. I said, why? He said, that's where the money is. Eye doctor. People are using computers, and as a result, they're guaranteed to get bad eyes, and so they'll come more to the doctor. So point enabled me to pursue material life, a life of sense enjoyment. A spiritualist, on the other hand, thinks, I have got this rare human life, I have been instrument in giving birth to these children, let me give them a spiritual education. So as father and mother, as parents, it's a duty to make sure that we give our children spiritual education. And that should be our goal. Prabhupada wanted the government in India to have a department, a Bhagavad Gita University, a place where people could be taught the Bhagavad Gita, and they should study the Gita and then travel everywhere to give this knowledge. So spirituality is a sense. Now, Sanda in America, the two teachers of Prahlad, what are you doing? It appears that the sadhus are coming in disguise to brainwash my children. And Sanda in America said, don't give us this blame. We don't know why that. We don't know who gives knowledge to us. Anyway, they said, don't worry. So when Prahlad's father one day patted the child, made him sit on his lap and said, so what's among the various subjects you studied, what is the best that you studied in your school? What did Prahlad say? He gave the ninefold process of devotional service. So, devotional service, Shastra means the words of God. And the words of God don't contain any defects. So devotional service has to be executed based on the scriptures. And Prabhupada gave us a pure message. Even when he went to America, when he was struggling, single-handed, at the age of 70, he landed in America. He was being advised not to conform to these sadhus' clothes and modernize his presentation. He refused to compromise. When Prabhupada was incorporating ISKCON in America, his advisors said, call this the International Society for God Consciousness. Prabhupada said, no, God is specific. And he gave the name Krishna. So Prabhupada did not compromise in his presentation, even though he was told different system. For example, Kritiya Dhyayata Vishnu. In Satya Yuga the process was meditation. In Treta Yuga the process was elaborate yagyas. In Dwapara Yuga the process was to elaborately worship the Lord. And in Kali Yuga, the same benefit that you could have obtained in other ages, you can obtain by chanting the holy name. So, an essential part of spiritual education is that they have absolutely no devotion. Whereas on the other hand, you may find an ISKCON devotee to whom Sanskrit is new. He may not pronounce the words, he may not pronounce the shlokas properly. But he chants the holy name, pursues the path of devotion, and he knows who Krishna is. So, this chanting of the holy name is most important. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while instructing Rupa and Sanatana, explained, Brahmanda Brahmida Kuna Bhagavanuji, Guru Krishna Kripa Pai. This is not enough. There is no seed. Has to grow, just like you may plant a seed, but the seed will not grow till you water the seed. So the watering process is the process of Shravanakirtan. So this chanting of the holy name is paramount if we want to pursue spiritual life. And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, the seed of devotional service will grow through chanting and hearing. And we should stay in devotee association. This association is very important. Just like even the children of a school, they'll have such good association. There's going to be a temple here, there's a temporary temple, and a permanent temple is being built. We have our teachers who believe in spirituality. Of the Gurukul building, that's next to Krishna Balam temple, on 13th September 1975. I remember there was a devotee called Bhagaji. He was at one time a big businessman, but he renounced everything and came to Vrindavan. And every day, every night, he would come and give Prabhupada a massage. Prabhupada had great trust in him. But at that time, virtually everybody was a foreigner. And Prabhupada, it got reflected to the ICSE board. So, the advantage of that Gurukul there was, it was right next to the Krishna Balam temple, very attractive deities, so charged spiritual environment. And the downside was, the building was getting old, and it's in a very congested, noisy area, am I right? Very noisy. The children could not. 115-acre plot actually, and 60 acres had been allotted to the Gurukul for development, organic development, and having a simple lifestyle. Dr. Leela Prashoda will make. And the 40 acres has gone to the temple to develop the Goshala. So you will see over here, not far is the Goshala, but it's in the development stage. And the school also is going to have many organic programs. So we're earning lakhs outside in the commercial market. They said, no, we want to dedicate our life to education. So for a nominal amount, they're working on that. So we want to thank Dr. Leela Purushottam and the whole team for the hard work in running the school, helping develop the school. And we gave them some contacts, and government organizations also help. We're also doing programs by which the villages in the neighborhood can receive vocational education. We're also preaching to the villages, and they're very ambitious plans to turn this into the real Vrindavan, where Krishna will be glorified. So, I want to thank all of them taught in all the schools of India, and you'll be happy to know that we are pursuing that goal also. So, thank you very much.